Welcome back. Hancock is poised to be a part owner of a medical marijuana company after winning a license to grow cannabis plants last week. Tom, what impact do you think this could have on Washington County's economy, especially in that Hancock area where you're at the pinch in the state?
Well, I think you definitely need it. They had a building, how long that's been sitting there, and this is going to be used now for something that I would consider a very good purpose for medical marijuana. Why not? Here you are, probably in one of the redder parts of the county, but nobody's objecting now because the money is being spent for a very good purpose, I think. Plus, it will help the economy in Hancock. How could it not? And plus, they actually have given a stake, I guess. Hancock has a stake as one of the, what do you call it, minority shareholders.
How does Hancock like their stakes up there?
Depends where you go to get one.
Yeah. I haven't eaten there too much.
You should. It's nice community to visit.
I just haven't stopped.
Anything that brings strong jobs into our county, I'm in favor of. Medical marijuana, it was a very competitive process, and Hancock, along with some other sites, locally were selected. I'm kind of on the fence regarding marijuana because of how it's classified, but I think we need to continue to do far greater research.
Explain yourself.
Well, it's classified as a illegal drug. Okay, even when the state passes laws and say no, it's no longer illegal in the state, it's classified as an illegal drug. FDA has not done the same type of research and background on cannabis as they did on aspirin. So there are apparent medical benefits with marijuana.
Undoubtedly.
And I say apparent because you look and you see people who are suffering through chemotherapy, it helps. People who have seizures, it helps. Okay, and it doesn't have to be smoked in order to be of benefit. It's utilizing the essential oils, and it can be actually a transdermal patch. These, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not a dispensary. They're only a growing facility.
They're just growing
they
the
license
marijuana.
those dispensaries.
Yes.
So this is, they're just the manufacturer. How it gets utilized, it's strictly for the medical field.
So the debate is what you're saying. The debate is it economically viable for Washington County, Western Maryland,
Oh, God, yes.
and in the Hancock area?
With the growing lights, with the effectiveness of low cost of overhead, with utilizing an existing building, doing some modifications to that building.
And a fast-growing plant.
And yes, it's a fast-growing plant. Not as quick as bamboo, but it grows pretty fast.
Now you mean plant as in plant, not as in building.
Yeah, exactly. Not as in building.
I actually met someone who works at a different growing facility. And I was talking to him, and it was really interesting. Well, we have video surveillance cameras on every 5 plants. And my job is to go in there and to trim. And prune
Trim,
back to prune back the plant so that they stay healthy and they continue to produce.
Okay, now let me ask you a question over here. Do you see the facility when it goes in having enough sewer allocation in Hancock, which Hancock right now has a lagoon? They're in violation on many days of their discharge permit from MDE. There has another business there, which is Landco, which is part of an overall area that's tried to get into Hancock. They can't get in because of sewer allocation, and Hancock seems to have a problem coming up of changing a lagoon into a sewer plant. So how do you see the capacity? Are they going to have the capacity to go there?
Well, I don't know the answer to that simply because that's not my field to know that. Apparently Hancock thinks so.
But they're in violation of a permit.
I guess my question is they're utilizing water to help the plants grow. There's a fertilizer component. What is the treatment process that is going on within the lagoon system at Hancock? Because the needs of a cheese processing plant, in my opinion, when you're dealing with the fat off runs and other things are significantly different than the
Significantly
needs
different
of
problem, yeah.
a fertilizer component that could
Yes.
possibly be entering into
Yeah.
the food chain.
Yeah.
So, is there a way that the the pot plant, whatever, however you
Yeah.
want to do it, is there a way that they can actually pre-filter some of the runoff
And reuse it.
and reuse it? And sort of doing the circle of life. But there's a person who I spoke to a couple years ago. They use tilapia to help the runoff from one feeds the tilapia, and then the sediment from the tilapia goes back in. So they have tilapia in the equation for resale, and they
Well,
have
there's some things that are enclosed systems.
a complete
practically, that they
aquaculture
can-
system.
Yeah, exactly, and they do exist.
Do you know
I
in
just
the-
don't know what exactly they're doing here. I haven't
So you
seen.
don't know in the process, because I don't know the processing of marijuana, how much water is used.
I've
don't-
never
I
been
don't know.
exposed to marijuana, so I couldn't
You're
tell you.
essentially growing a plant, and I don't know what they're doing exactly when they're processing.
It's like a concrete plant that water goes in to mix concrete, and then it sets up, and that water doesn't go into the sewer system, but they're billed in some cases through the
that-
sewer system,
right.
and it's not. So we're
But I
not
mean,
really sure.
How much different can it be from
but
growing stuff on a farm?
But if they start in a aquaculture situation where
Yeah.
we're completely cycling through and you use supplemental water to keep the levels up,
Yeah.
then I'm curious about how much are we potentially penalizing the Hancock treatment facility with any runoff? Are they really going to experience that?
How many jobs did it say have you seen that it'll create?
I don't know exactly, to tell you the truth.
It's over 65 or over 65 jobs, 120 jobs. I think it was 120, 125 jobs.
Okay,
Something in
and
that
some
Yeah.
of them are going to be in security. One of the
Yeah.
big and actually the fellow from the Hancock plant spoke at my Rotary Club. He did it 2 years ago when they were going through the petition process. The real interesting part that he said is, we are so strict and we have everything so locked down. No one's going to walk out there with a leaf of marijuana.
Yeah, and again, I mean, that isn't our biggest, I think, security
The prisons are locked down too. How do they get drugs in prisons?
Well,
yeah,
that's,
so it's
that's
not
not
our
a topic
biggest
for discussion
concern.
tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to last a lot longer.
One little interesting fact, though, about they are actually using LSD in studies to help PTSD veterans.
Oh.
And it's been very successful. So just as another thing might be on the horizon, who knows?
Very good. Tom, you've had the last word. Coming up next on the flip side, we'll talk about Democrats lining up for the Maryland gubernatorial race. That should be
Thank
interesting.
God.